back, Fubar here, and today we are going to be discussing battle tactics, both individual and as alliance, and how to run proper AGs, our AG formations, what you should be doing if you have a unit in a rally, and other things along those topics. Okay, so we're going to start with just single unit individual PvP. When your rallies are all full and you don't have enough members to start a second rally, and you are a player that has to use, or a player who just prefers not to put units in rallies and play as a lone wolf that wants to contribute to your rally, to your alliance during an L4 or during combat drill events. Micromanage your units. If you're micromanaging your units, such as like this right here, as you can see right here, my helicopter, I come up, I'm going to hit this unit right here. And once this unit is dead, I'm going to pull back. If this was a rally and it was not paying attention, my helicopter could quickly kill this entire rally. And the reason why you want to micromanage is because each unit has different retrain times. So helicopters have a very high retrain time, and it takes a very long time. So does the modder MBT, and the and so does the SH. That's why I don't like the SH so much, because it's high retrain time and it's slow movement speed. But so does artillery units. Pretty much they all slow down significantly as they go up in tiers. So also, the only two that really somewhat of an exception is the Liberty MBT and the Vanguard MBT. So when you're fighting in 1v1 scenarios and with your base, okay, and say you're getting sieged in a base to base scenario, your main goal is one, based off your setup. If you're running a base to base setup, you're going to want to pull your form of artillery out, target their artillery, and pop back in. Or if you got time, go like this and take your time and target them and pop the shot and then go back in. Now, the reason why is to avoid taking as much damage as possible, because artillery units are quite squishy. But if you're not heavy on artillery and you're more of a field fighter, right? And you say your base, we're going to, just for the sake of this video, we're going to relocate our base, and we're going to move as close as we can to my alliance buddy Pidge. We're going to move as close as we can. This is the old meta. Right here, they like to get close so that way they can pop their artillery in and out faster. But as a field fighter, if you are in this scenario, your job right now is to create space. And as long as you are within your own alliance territory or in your L3 during this event, this is what I can recommend to you. Okay? Create space. You have airlifts, right? So if you were to airlift away, you can instantly create space. Don't worry about wasting one airlift. Stay in the fight for a slight bit longer with a higher base health. Even though the bases are pretty much paper mache at this point, you will benefit your alliance a lot more. Because then now you can have a higher base health that can block builds. You can help move up into builds and so forth. Next is the following, okay? If you, an alliance member, are trying to, say, destroy a burn, and you guys have the coordination well enough, or say you're on a Discord call or some form of call system while playing the game, and you guys got great comms, you can relocate one by one and use an old military tactic called shoot and cover. One ally will cover you while you move up closer to another ally, covering you while you move to the next spot. And then he will move up, but you always want to be on his bumper of where you can set up your base. This will greatly help you reduce base damage, and also he can cover you and you can cover him when he moves up. And I recommend the best the best example of this is actually done by Antonio Liek. He did a video about 2 days ago, and I believe it was called burning a build in Cairo, and it was showing him and his friend Neocris doing this exact method of what was looks like kind of like leapfrog. They would blow up an enemy space, kill the troops, then move up one by one, covering each other as they move forward. Now, if you are a rally leader should be micromanaging their units all the time. And if you are not in a rally, you should be providing air cover, whether it's a bomber or a fighter or both. Now, the reason why I like using a Marder bomber is because it's designed for tanks, for one. It's very effective against Liberty helicopters, or all helicopters in general. But it also, with El Cartero on it, it can stop them and stun them in place for that rally to kill them. Now, if you have a strong fighter, you want to be covering these rallies, especially artillery rallies, so that way they are protected. If they're not protected, then bombers will get them. I swear to God, I don't know. Any player is not going to go after free kills, especially on rocket trucks. So, with this in mind, do not be an absent rally member. Be online, be retraining your troops for the rally, and be moving your air force over them to help. Now, you might be saying, well, what if I don't have a strong air force? Well, that is fine. You can still help the rally by scanning the map, looking for the troops for the rally, and making call outs where they are, where rats are, aka members who are using lights who like to snipe reserves. In doing this will greatly benefit you and your alliance. The next topic of discussion in this is rally leaders. You need to be aware and you need to be micromanaging your rally. Noticing if more than one rally is coming onto your rally, you need to retreat so that way you're not taking too many losses. Now, if you're in a helicopter rally and you're running a helicopter rally, make sure you're keeping your rally clean. When I say clean, meaning if you see a Liberty helicopter with Vanguard and Martyr helicopters, it's not recommended unless you're highly micromanaging it, because you're going to get your Liberty helicopters in that rally, even if it's one or two, especially if it's one or two, killed very quickly if you're not paying attention, because the Liberty helicopter will outpace the Vanguard and Martyr helicopters and attack the target sooner. So take your time, let the other units catch up, then go forward. You could clean the rally by keeping the Liberty helis in their own rally, and then keeping Vanguard and Martyr helicopters in their own rally, where they're going to be on the front line supporting MBTs and trying to get around flanks. Where say there's a mountain range, but there's a major front line. They can go around the mountain range, get to the back line, and attack reserves, attack rocket truck rallies, and so forth. The next thing is, in a rocket truck formation that you want to quickly kill bases with, put 5 MBTs, 10 rocket trucks. This is a base killing rally, and this rally is meant to wipe out bases. So you want to keep that rally on reserve in the back. All right, you want to form that after you break their back line and then move in with this rally. The reason why you want to move in with this rally at that point in time is because rocket trucks are easy to counter, easy to kill. They have very low damage resist, very low blast resist, very low HP, but they do the most structure damage. So, and they're very fast moving. So, with this in mind, you want to make sure that you're not forming a rally of rocket trucks prematurely before you break their back line. Now, in some scenarios, you have to do it where you don't have high activity in your alliance, and you need to have the rocket truck rally up just in case someone decides to drop in or stop a burn or to set up a burn. Or if even if you're if you're in a coalition, your coalition partners may need help, or your allies in that L4 might need help. That's why you might see those scenarios. But still, don't be an absent member. Keep Air Force over that and stay aware. So the key takeaways is micromanaging your units and also being aware of your surroundings and not and being active during these things. If you are doing all of these things, your numbers are going to go higher. And when I say don't smash Legos, that means if there was a whole rally right here, I'm not going to send one unit and just let it sit there and take damage like this is happening right now on this bunker. You can see right here, I'm just sitting here taking damage, taking damage. All the units are just firing at me. I'm trying to kill my target. And that all you're doing is going to be doing a negative trade, which you're not going to want. It's not helpful. It's not convenient. It's going to waste your reserves. It's going to waste your time. Do not do this. Okay? And surprisingly, this week heavy is actually doing pretty well against this level 7. I didn't think that was going to be possible, but it is. Hooray. We don't need that level 7 bunker. We're going to let it repair. Next is understanding your units. If you understand the unit's strengths and weaknesses and what its unique perks are, you will be better suited to the combat. You can pick out your scenarios where you want to help your alliance and help in the fight. For example, you got 3 different kinds of fighters. You got Vanguard, which is this one right here that I'm pulling out, which is almost 7.2. I only need 1.645, and then I can go Modern. And now I have a Liberty fighter. The difference between these two fighters is that Vanguard has a higher intercept and Liberty has a higher firepower. And you might be thinking, oh, well, Fubar, that's common knowledge. Well, what does that mean, intercept of firepower? Firepower means more damage. It'll do more damage, but how? That's great. But what about the intercept? What is intercept? Well, intercept is whenever you're moving your fighter to engage in combat, it will do more damage entering to the combat than before. So that means you need to move your fighter in and out of combat to keep triggering this damage and causing high damage. Now, I recommend the Liberty fighter or the Martyr fighter because they have the Martyr fighter has good maneuverability, which means dodging attacks, and the Liberty fighter has higher firepower. So I recommend those two fighters to be the stationary fighters that you would put over your rocket trucks or your other units or artillery units that need defending in an area. And you would use your Vanguard fighter to engage other fighters to clear out an area. If that makes sense, that's what I was going for. For example, the Liberty Heavy has a higher siege ratio, which means higher structure damage. So if you're using a Liberty MBT, you're going to have double the siege damage than the Vanguard MBT. But the Vanguard MBT will have higher firepower, higher armor, so more blast resist and damage resist, and they both have a fast retrain time. But the Liberty MBT will have also a higher speed. So that means now the Liberty MBT can more effectively field fight because it can engage combat when it gets hairy. It can now successfully retreat, but the Vanguard Heavy will now perform better in a base-to-base scenario. And with the Martyr Heavy or our Martyr MBT, it has a self-efficient ability where it will allow itself to self-repair and it will have a higher durability or HP than its counterparts, and also a higher speed. But it won't be as fast as the Liberty, but it will be faster than the Vanguard. So what this means, though, that Liberty and also the Martyr MBT will be much better efficient in combat if you're micromanaging them, doing hit and run tactics, not just putting them up on a unit's bumper, smashing Legos and hoping for the best. That does not work well. I've seen so many alliances lose L4s right in the beginning because they get demoralized because they're not using proper battle tactics. If you're using proper battle tactics, you will win every time. And remember, you need to be flexible on these battle tactics and to use each one accordingly based off what's happening in the battlefield at the time. There's no set win way to perform on the battlefield, but knowing when to retreat, knowing when to hit, and when to seize the moment is the key elements here. That's why you see so many players with high kills, low deaths. You don't want to be the player with low kills, high deaths. And that will make you more successful in L4 events, whether it's silver, gold, or legendary. Okay? Be aware of the battlefield, micromanage your units, and you will be successful and have that unit knowledge. Thank you all for watching this video. If you thought it was helpful, please like, subscribe, and comment. And ring the bell for notifications. Thank you and have a great day. I got your 6. Fubar out.